opening, just want to be clear that we're on the same page with introduction and opening, because they can kind of be the same thing. And again, just see what works for you in terms of the placement of what you say. So I just want to be clear that we're on the same page. When we open up the sacred space, this is the actual formal start of ceremony. Now, you can have information, introduction before that, or you could have that after your opening. But your opening is something very specific. That's when you are working with your elements. You're calling in spirit of cacao. You're acknowledging the humans there, those that have come before us, the farmers, the land, whatever other energies you work with. Some people work with dragon energy, some people work with angel energy, some people work with ancestral energy. Whatever it is that you are calling in beyond the humans there, they are being present and sitting in the circle with us now. So we are invoking them, we're calling them in. And then we're saying, now that we are all here, the ceremony can start. Which is why I'm very fond of, I think it's my understanding of ceremony now. I take a long time for that because it's so precious to me to be able to have all the unseen come into that space with the humans. And sure, maybe for a few participants that it's their first time in ceremony, they're quite bored, and that's fine. I don't, I'm doing this to set the tone for the entire ceremony that they are going to journey through as well. So whether they're bored or they're a bit like triggered by a certain word I use, it's okay. But I need to make sure that I've got the solid pillar of me and my support around me. So that's the opening. Now, Julie, of course, you can do the housekeeping in the beginning, but that's a good idea to do any housekeeping before if you wanted to. And you can also then give your information. You could give information about cacao before, because it's quite brainy. It's quite, people have to be in the head. They're thinking you need to feed the mind information, the teacher part of you, information. That's cool. You can do that before the opening, because once the mind is then satisfied, people are more likely to then drop into the actual experience of being embodied, of being in the heart, of connecting to their spirit. If there's too much thinking in the head, then we're not going to be dropping. It doesn't mean that you don't have to give information during ceremony, but you'll just be more selective maybe of when and how. Yeah, it's just a different feeling of how the information comes across then. So there's no right or wrong, but just be clear that introduction can include your opening. Your opening can include your introduction, but they are separate things. The opening is really that sacred moment of, here we are dropping into this container together, all of us, seen and unseen. And this is where we meet each other. And then that's why at the end of it, we have to close, right? We have to say, well, thank you everybody for coming. And honoring all of them and saying thank you. So that's why we generally say it's the mirror, it's the bookend to the first part. We will thank whatever we brought in over here, and whatever happened in ceremony if you feel there was something else that you needed to speak to there. So those are really pillar key points, and they can, as a result, it takes time. Those together, the opening and the closing, easily half an hour total, easily.